Hey there folks, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video. We're going to get into this variety pack. I know Jay, thank you for recommending this. Jay McKay brought this to my attention. You guys should check him out on YouTube as well. He's got a channel where he does a lot of home brewing stuff, a couple of beer reviews. Really informative, got some really cool beers out there. You can find him at Keg House Brewing, Keaghaus Brewing on YouTube. Look him up, like, share, and subscribe his channel as well. But he told me about the Founders All Day Variety Pack, and I know it's taken me a couple of weeks to get around to this. I had to find it first, then I had to make some time stuff. But the Founders All Day IPA, I think I posted this one like years ago when it first came out. They're really good IPA. And now this variety pack, they've got an all-day chill day, which is a cold session IPA. They've got all-day haze, which, oh no, hazy IPA, imagine that. And then they've got the regular all-day IPA, which is a session. And then all night, which is a black IPA. There aren't nearly enough black IPAs out there. Another thing that Jay really was enthusiastic about with this pack, and I don't blame him. I'm right there on board with him. Founders makes some good IPAs. They've got to have a good black IPA. So, the order in which we're going to do these, I believe I'm going to do the chill day, then the regular all-day IPA, then the haze, and then the all-night. We're basically going in the order that I think will be light to dark on this. The IBUs aren't listed. Normally we would go with IPAs on the lower to higher IBUs so that our palates don't get wrecked by the hoppiness. But without the IBUs being listed, we're going to kind of have to assume that they're about the same. So we're going to go in order of not necessarily ABV, which is your second option, because you want to go from high ABV to low ABV so that you kind of tamp it down as you go so that you're not plastered. But I don't have to go anywhere tonight, so it doesn't matter. We're going to go from light to dark, which is your third option on beer tastings. We'll be cleansing with water in between each one, but I'm not going to make you watch me guzzle that down. So anyway, let's get started with the all-day chill day session cold IPA from Founders. 4.8% ABV. I'm just going to run these down right now. Cold day is, or chill day is 4.8%. The haze is 4.9%. All day is 4.7%, and all night is 4.7%. So now I don't have to read them off as I go. You can just rewind the damn video if you want. Right, so chill day. That kind of skipped off of the table as I rotated it. That's not cool, but it didn't topple, so we're good. Oh, a nice clear IPA. Holy crap. These are a rare breed these days. Very, very light. Very effervescent. Lots of bubbles coming up from that nucleation point at the bottom there. But also, any haze that you're seeing here is just from a little tiny bit of sweat on the glass. That is an extremely clear beer. And there's a mesmerizing swirl of bubbles coming up from there. That looks amazing. Very clear, very light yellow in color. Smells citrusy. No surprise, I'm mostly keyed towards citrus and pines. I'm going to pick up on those notes more than anything else. Maybe a hint of pine underneath, but mostly citrusy. Medium light mouthfeel. It's a little greasy. It's got some little oiliness, but then it fades to a little grittiness. It's weird. I'm getting a lot of texture out of this, even though it's not that heavy in terms of mouthfeel. It's kind of a texture-heavy beer. Quite hoppy. Up front, nice and light. crisp, cool, and refreshing. But then as it settles on the palate, I'm getting some really earthy, almost metallic flavor that's giving way to a hint of pine, which is interesting because I'm not tasting right now any of the citrus that I was smelling. But yeah, just like a nice earthy, pleasantly metallic flavor, giving way to some hints of pine. A bit of dankness too, but definitely an earthy, heavy hoppiness in there. I mean, it's loaded. I gotta look up the IBUs on this if it's been posted to Untapped. They didn't put it on this, but maybe they put it on Untapped, or I mean, maybe somebody has posted it to Untapped, or maybe Founders put it on their website. Sometimes you'll find that they won't put their stats on the pack, but if you look on the website, it's there. Yeah, once again, I'm still getting the aroma of the citrus, but none of the flavor. That's very interesting. The dankness is coming more forward too. It's just kind of coming forward and going right alongside with that earthiness. It's good. It's very good overall. I'm liking it. It's not quite blowing me away or knocking my socks off or anything, but excuse me. It is a very solid cold session IPA. It's not hazy, which I love. Pardon. Definitely gassy on that one. I'm hitting this with a solid 3.5 out of 5. Well, bear in mind, on a scale of 1 to 5, a 2.5 is average, so 3.5 puts this distinctly above average. I'm just not getting anything from it that I don't get from other beers. Yes, it's giving me some earthy and dank notes in the hoppiness, which I'm not as used to getting, but I do get that from other beers. So it's not like standing out, but I've got nothing bad to say about it either. So right there at the 3.5. I'm going to finish this one up, and we're going to move on to the regular All Day IPA. All right, and this is the original All Day IPA. Next one up. As I said, I did do a video on this a little while back, and I remember it being quite an easy drinking, good beer. Had a whole 12 pack, and I said it wouldn't be a problem to finish the 12 pack. Excuse me. I may have bought it once or twice in the meantime since then. Relatively clear, slightly hazy, a little effervescent, but it's got this nice orange, golden orange color to it. Really nice. Not much of an aroma on it. That's interesting. I mean, it's got a little hint of sweetness, like a sweet maltiness. Maybe a citrus undertone there. But mostly a neutral aroma. That's interesting. Nice medium light mouthfeel. Also a little bit of body to it. Quite smooth. Going down easy. Again, I'm getting a slight hint of sweet maltiness, but then this just general overall hoppy bitterness. Maybe some minor grassy and earthy notes. Pardon. A little hint of pine in the burps. Crisp. Just an overall easy to drink, not too cloyingly hoppy IPA with a decent hop profile. But again, not a lot of the specific notes coming through, just a little hint of earthiness and grassiness. but not overwhelmingly so. It's mostly just got a general hoppy bitterness to it, but you can taste the sweet malty backbone of the beer as well. So pretty nice, pretty well-rounded beer. Hitting this one with a 4 out of 5 this time around. I can't remember what my previous rating was, but again, not much more to say about it. That's kind of it. Nothing bad, nothing like overwhelmingly great, but just a nice, solid, easy drinking beer with a lot of character. And again, I don't know about getting through a whole 12 pack of these in one day, but you know, you could sit there all day with them. Anyway, I'm going to finish this one up, and we're going to move on to All Day Haze, the hazy Session IPA. All right, so third up is the Session Hazy, All Day Haze. Now, you know, just to set the record straight here, I talk a lot about hazy IPAs versus non-hazy, and I got no problem with hazy IPAs. I'm just a little disconcerted with the fact that everybody out there seems to think that every IPA has to be hazy to be good. That's not the case. And I'll argue this point with you all day long. There are plenty of good IPAs out there that aren't hazy. And some of them are hazy from oils, some of them are hazy from particulates. Doesn't matter. If it tastes good, I don't care. But somebody who says that a clear IPA can't be good doesn't know what they're talking about. Anyway, pardon. This one is clearly hazy. A little oxymoron for you, but it is definitely hazy. Got a nice light yellow color that fades to a darker golden orange up here. Slightly effervescent, just a few bubbles coming up from down below. A little more of an aroma than the last one. Citrusy. Maybe a little grassy underneath. Yeah, citrusy, a little bit of grassy. Still a medium light mouthfeel, so it hasn't got a lot of extra body to it with the haze. Going down smooth. Just a general hoppy bitterness. Gets stronger as it finishes in terms of the bitterness. I mean, maybe some earthiness and grassiness, but overall just a general bitterness. Interesting. Maybe I'm getting ready to come down with something. I don't know, but overall I'm not getting a lot of distinct flavors from the hoppiness on these beers, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Just an overall hoppy bitterness is a well-rounded hop profile as well, sometimes. Yeah, like I said, maybe a hint of earthiness, maybe a hint of grassiness, but just a general overall hoppy bitterness. It's easy drinking. It's another crisp, refreshing, relatively light IPA. I'm hitting this one with a 3.5 out of 5 as well. It's just pretty damn good. All right, I'm going to finish this one up, and we're going to move on to the All Night IPA. All right, and last up is All Night IPA, Session Black IPA. Now, I said it before, I'll say it again. I'll probably say it again and again and again in the future. There are not enough black IPAs out there. We got some coffee IPAs here and there. We've got some really stout IPAs. But there's something about a well-done dark beer with a hoppy profile that just works so well. And that is incredibly dark. Very little light coming through there. I can just make out the fact that it is a brownish color, like molasses. It's got a nice brownish tan head on it. I did get aggressive with the pour too, more so than I have with the others. But you can see how this is behaving like a porter or a stout, because it's probably got that heavier malt profile. I don't know if the sugars in there actually, the roasted sugars actually cause the foam up any more than others do, but whatever it is. Not a lot of light came through there, so I can't really tell if there's a lot of bubbles nucleating up from there, but anyway. General hoppy profile, aroma. Almost getting hints of something roasty and savory. Maybe a hint of chocolate or coffee, or maybe both. Who knows? But just barely. Mostly just a general hoppy aroma in there. Medium mouthfeel. It's not as heavy as I would have thought. Definitely got some body to it, though. A nice roasty bitterness. Into smokiness, almost an oaky woodiness in the finish. That's interesting. It's distinctly woody in the finish. But just a nice roasty, heavy malt profile without a heavy mouthfeel. A little smokiness. I mean, maybe some hints of chocolate and coffee, but not distinctly. Just, you get that, again, in the roasty, smoky character, there's that suggestion of coffee or chocolate. It's not like distinctly there. Also, blending really well with that smoky, roasty, and woody character is an overall hoppy bitterness that's not, for me, it's not really resolving into any specific character. It's just hoppy and bitter. Maybe some earthy notes, but it's getting lost in that roasty character, which is not a bad thing. It's just that hoppy bitterness is accentuating the other character of the beer. Still quite easy drinking, but definitely a one of those colder weather beers. This pack, it's perfect for all day drinking. Start with the morning chill. Then you get into your all day IPA towards the afternoon, hazy at sunset, and then at night, all night with the darker. I don't know what it's like in your area, folks, but here in Maine, once the sun goes down, it gets cold. I don't care if it's the middle of summer, it's going to drop a few degrees. Colder weather beer. Whew, pardon. This is definitely a 24-hour a day pack. Anyway, I need to rate this one. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Like I said, there's not enough black IPAs out there. There's not enough dark IPAs out there. I'm giving the All Night IPA, I'm giving it a solid 4.5 out of 5. Again, it's not blowing me away. It's not giving me that wow factor. It's not unique. I've had other dark and black IPAs that are just as good. So it's, but again, it's as close to that 5 out of 5 as it can possibly get. All in all, a solid pack. Nothing to complain about here. You should go get one. Thanks again, Jay, for turning me on to this. I really appreciate it. This is a great pack. I will probably try and grab another one before it disappears. I'm hoping that it continues to show up. Sometimes they do these things, that they put out the nice variety pack within a specific series of beers, and once it's sold, it's gone, and they never bring it back. So we'll see what happens with the Founders All Day IPA mix pack, but go for it, folks. Once you have gotten your hands on one, hit me up down below in the comments or the email link. Love to hear what you have to say about any of these 4 beers individually or the pack as a whole. Till next time, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.